Am I the asshole for saying my memory book is not some family project? I lost my dad 10 years ago. When he got sick, he started a memory book with me so that I could hold on to the memories. He did one for my sister too, but she wasn't as into it and was more into videos he made of himself. But for me, the memory book was everything, and after he died I continued adding to it. Any memory I had of my dad or our family I would add. Sometimes something came back when I found a random photo or something. Then I included memories with my sister after Dad. Sometimes I included some memories of Mom, but after Dad died my relationship with her was harder. She thought we needed another dad, and because we said we didn't want another dad, she was angry with us a lot. She tried to rush a couple of relationships, but they failed when the guy realized he was not getting an insta-happy family. 5 years ago my mom met her husband John, and they merged families. John was a single dad of 3 kids. Technically he has 4 kids, but one is not in his life. John's 3 kids do not have an involved mom, so my mom has stepped up to be their mom and they call her mom. John has tried to step up to be mine and my sister's dad. But we see him as just a stepdad. John's kids are just step-siblings, and I don't love John and his kids. I don't hate or dislike them. But I wouldn't ever include them in my memory book, for example. And that's what this is about. My step-siblings were in my room when I was in school a couple of weeks ago, and they found the memory book. They wanted to know why I had it and why I didn't have photos of their dad or them. My mom heard them ask those questions, and she demanded to look through it. While Mom was going through it, my step-siblings said they wanted to add their own stuff, and I said no, it's not for them. Mom told me not to say that kind of thing to them, and then she told me it should be something that shares memory of our whole family. I told her it was my personal thing. She took it away for a few days, and my sister stole it back, and then I asked my grandpa to hold on to it for me. Mom and John sat me down and said it's not acceptable that I have a memory book that's clearly about my family when I don't include my whole existing family. They said my step-siblings were very upset that I wouldn't add them or let them take part. They then said it should be a family thing, and Mom insisted I hand it back over and we all work on it together. I told them it's not a family project. It's mine. It's for me and my way of documenting memories of the people I love, and they will not take it away from me. John was pissed and said, "Oh, so it's like that, so you don't love us?" Mom told me she and John had the right to say what was or wasn't a family project, and once it's in their home, that's their decision. She also told me I was disrespectful for talking back. They also told me it was time to man up. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. This was something special between you and your dad. They can't just take it over because of their wants. They can make their own memory book if they want, but keep your memory book to yourself. I would keep it at Grandpa's cause. I could see them steal it, ruining it with their own stuff. Not the asshole. And ask both John and your mom whether they really want to teach you that your own feelings don't matter. You have to love anyone who demands it and is nice to you in exactly the way she wants you to. Why do your stepfamily's feelings matter and yours don't? You might also remind them that if they keep treating you like a doll to fit into their new family rather than a person with real feelings to be considered, that they will lose you once you are old enough to make their relationship with you conditional upon being respected and treated like a person and not a doll. Not the asshole if they want a family memory book. They are free to make one. Your memories with your dad have zero to do with any of them. I'm glad your grandpa is able to keep it safe for you. Tell your mom's husband to keep his kids out of your room. They have no business pouring through your stuff. Why do so many parents and step-parents try to cram blended family relationships down the kids' throats? I think that if maybe parents try to let relationships form organically, and if people just be nice and respectful, over time, at best, familial love may develop, at worst, pleasant acquaintance. No, instead they keep forcing, which builds resentment, dislike and even hate. If everyone put greed and ego aside, they might actually have pleasant existence. AITA, and this should have been right up front. I am sorry for your loss. Not the asshole. Mom and John sat me down and said it's not acceptable that I have a memory book that's clearly about my family when I don't include my whole existing family. Yeah, well, it's not acceptable that you don't have a dad anymore. Life's not fair. Not the asshole, and please keep your memory book with your grandfather or somewhere else safe. Your mother and her husband are wrong on so many levels, I don't know where to start, but I am so sorry your mother tried to take your book away. I hope things get better for you and that you're able to get away and live your life your way. Not the asshole. Oh, the adults. What a terrible response to a memory book about your dad. Solely about your dad. That's a beautiful thing, and I'm sorry the adults are so far off base. I will never for the life of me understand why surviving partners try to erase their dead partners like this. She could have easily said, let's do another one with this family and we can all add to it as we go. But they had to be idiots about it. Not the asshole at all. If you are up to it, just tell your mom that forcing a family is never a good idea. Otherwise you can actually have an amicable relationship with the new members. Not the asshole. Take your mom aside and tell her how you feel. Telling you to man up is toxic and pathetic. Your memory book is for your dad. No one gets to tell you what to put in it. Not the asshole. Your memory book isn't about your family generally, it's specifically about you and your dad. I'm sorry for your loss. Not the asshole. Don't bring that book back into their house. It will be destroyed or taken away. You have a memory book about your dead father that does not have to include anything or anybody else. Just because your mother remarried doesn't mean you have to love or even accept your new stepfather and step-siblings as family. I do think you need to be civil to them, but that's it. Families who force this kind of BS not only destroy any chance of good relationships forming, but then get all shocked Pikachu-faced when the kid grows up and never speaks to them again. Not the asshole. Have your grandfather keep the book. If your mom and her husband want one so bad, they can start their own damn book. Not the asshole. The memory book is for you and for your cherished memories. Your mom and stepdad are trying to dictate what you should cherish, and they simply can't do that. Making an issue over your memory book is a poor decision. Let your grandfather keep hold of it for you. The best way for you to become a man is to know who you are, acknowledge your own feelings, and learn to care for yourself both physically and emotionally. Telling you to man up is trying to fit you into a harmful stereotype of manhood. Nta. I'm sorry you lost him and glad you have this precio thing. Forced bonding never works, so your mom and John should back off. Not the asshole. Your sister definitely had your back on that one though. Maybe you two can work on it together? Clearly, you don't have to. But maybe she'll be more into it now. Sounds like you two can lean on each other and that's a wonderful thing. Can you live with your grandfather? Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You should not be forced to edit or replace the memory of your dad. Memories are our personal stuff to keep or do with as we want. Not the asshole. Your memory book is a deeply personal project that helps you connect with your late dad and preserve your memories. It's unfair for your mom and John to demand inclusion in something so personal and to label it a family project against your wish. Not the asshole. Why can't they just start their own memory book? Not the asshole. If this is real, these people are being quite ridiculous. Taking the memory book was downright cruel. Keep your memory book safe at your granddad's OP. Why would the step-siblings want to add to Arp's book when they never knew his dad? If mum and stepdad want a family memory book, they can start one. Their own book of memories of the family now, and OP has his book of dad, kept as a separate book or chapter in the story of their lives. Honestly, why are people like this? Your parents can get fed. Keep it hidden at your grandpa's house. Also, it says you are 17. You may want to check into local laws, as most places won't force you back home to your mom if you are 17.5 and living with a trusted relative. Maybe you could stay at your grandpa's place.